Hello, I'm Stuart Astill and welcome to What's On. Now, I'm in Sheffield, you're in Sheffield and over 500,000 other people are in Sheffield. This means there's a lot going on and you can't know it all, neither do we, but never mind, we do our best. Make sure you watch What's On every weekday on Sheffield Live at 6:04, but particularly on Thursdays, the official pre-weekend edition. On tonight's show, we've been taking a look at the weekly craft club held at the Graves Gallery above the Central Library, and I'll be speaking with Karen Sherwood, the owner and director of the Cuppola Gallery, about a new exhibition that's opening tomorrow. A very wise person may have said that if you multiply the number of bands in Sheffield by the number of venues, then you get a very large number. We're even wiser because out of that large number, we're going to point you towards some of the things you might have missed and some of the things that you should not miss. The multi-award-winning UK blues band King are playing at City Hall on this Friday the 13th. They're reputed to be the band that makes you wish you'd tried harder at the things you're good at, so grab one of the few remaining tickets and go along. On an almost but not quite entirely different theme, you could see Gaga, the Queen tribute band, playing the day before, that's tonight, also at City Hall. But remember, even kings and queens all bow down before the mighty power of the Hammond organ. Troika are a trio that do more than just jazz, adding rock, dance beats and looping alongside the ever-popular Hammond groove. This gig for the knowledgeable or curious is taking place at Sheffield University Students' Union later tonight. So, if jazz blues or the reenactment of some of the 70s and 80s greatest hits is not your thing, perhaps you'll find something that takes your fancy in Sheffield's offering in the Arts and Culture Zone. Trudging through the rain and suddenly noticing a great big lump of metal looming at you sounds like an afternoon waiting for a tram on West Street. It also can be one of the greatest cultural experiences you may have if you go to the Yorkshire Sculpture Park during the Henry Moore exhibition. The man who did for holes what Michelangelo did for ceilings has his work exhibited in the place he believed it should be, the great outdoors. The Yorkshire Sculpture Park is a huge area and deserves this grand exhibition. It's on now, so why not see it now, in the rain, and then go back again before September to see it again, wearing a sun hat. Not content with the Queen tribute band, Sheffield is offering another 80s recreation at the Library Theatre this weekend. The Break-a-Leg Theatre Company is putting on the stage adaptation of Heidi High, the popular TV sitcom set in a Butlin-style holiday camp. If you do go, and you're under the age of 35, you'll need to know that when anyone shouts, Heidi High, you have to reply, Hody Ho. If that sounds like your cup of tea, it's on Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th. On slightly more sensible ground, you might want to hang on until the 15th, when the Festival of Science and Engineering starts. Talks, activities and exhibitions across South Yorkshire for the geek who likes to get out of the house. Check out the interview with the organiser on Sheffield Live's YouTube and look for the full programme details on the internet at scienceweeksy.org.uk. What do you do in an art gallery? If the most you can think of is yawning and looking at things, then you should think again and pay close attention to what we've found out about the craft club that happens at Graves Gallery every Monday.
I'm Caroline Marshall and I run the Craft Club Gallery Sheffield for the Millennium Galleries.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about what the Craft Club does?
Well, we're here every week for anybody who wants to come along and do any craft they want basically. We can help people to learn to crochet or knit or to tapestry, cross stitch, a variety of crafts really, and there's a lot of people who come along, a lot of ladies who are multi-talented, that are really wonderful at showing other people what to do. So the group is self-functioning in so much as everybody helps everybody else. We do have materials here if anybody hasn't done anything before. We've got yarns, we've got needles, we've got crochet hooks. So basically they can have something straight away. If they've never done anything before, they can come along and I can show them, just like I was showing the lady Anne this morning how to crochet. So people do come along with their own projects. Basically they come along with something that they've already started or they want to start something new. And they'll come along and bring the project along and other people can learn from it as well, which is jolly good, really.
How long has the craft club been running for?
Probably about 5 years now. Yes, I think so, 5 or 6 years. We started off in the Ruskin Gallery, in the foyer of the Ruskin Gallery, which was lovely because it was a visual thing. People could see to just pop in as and when. And it grew and grew and grew, so the more and more ladies came. So we had to actually go downstairs into the activity room in the Millennium Gallery, which is a much larger room, so it can facilitate a lot more people. And the club has grown, so we sort of moved between the two rooms. Currently, we're in the activity room in the Graves Library building. So we've been going quite a long time now, so I've seen people come and people go, and more people come. They probably see it on the website, the Millennium Gallery website.
So how can people get involved?
Well, generally they come along if they just wanted to meet other people, as well as if they want to learn a craft. It's a way of meeting people, isn't it? So quite a lot of ladies who they've done something through their life and they want to come along and share that knowledge. The Museums and Galleries Sheffield actually advertise it, so it is advertised online on the Museums and Galleries site, which is good for people. And in the booklet that they have here, that shows what's happening. I have started off a Facebook site, which is really good, so people who come here who are already online, on internet or on Facebook, they can get to Cuppola Gallery Sheffield. And any member can post up things that are current, if they see something on Ravelry or they see something online on one of the sites, one of the craft sites, or just something that's appeared on TV, on BBC TV for instance. They'll pop it up and they'll share it on Facebook, so we can all sort of gather information, both good and funny, if you like.
That's great, thank you for talking to us.
You're very welcome.
That was the Graves Gallery's now famous craft club. There's lots more happens in the community across Sheffield. Some of it well known, some of it stays hidden. Let's find out what the mix is in today's community focused listings. One of the biggest and best expressions of the great Sheffield community takes place tonight at the O2. It's the Exposed Awards, where the very best of eating, drinking, fashion, music and more are celebrated and get to call themselves top dog for a whole year. That's tonight from 8 PM at the O2, and if you can't make it, look out for the results in Exposed magazine and check out what's on tomorrow for our own report on what happened. This weekend is a time to celebrate one of the great communities whose history since the 19th century is tied up with Sheffield. Yes, St Patrick's Day arrives again, with all the conviviality, the wearing of green and drinking of Guinness. There's a series of events and worship in the churches at the heart of Sheffield's traditional Irish areas. On Friday from 1:30 till 3, there are Irish spoken histories at St Vincent's Centre on Solly Street, and also at Solly Street, a social on Sunday at 8 PM. St Mary's Cathedral in town is holding a festival mass on Saturday at 12:30. You can go straight from there to one of the well-known Irish pubs, such as the Grapes and Fagans, and then onto one of the big tents on Fargate and at Devonshire Green, where there's live music on Saturday between 3 and 11. Almost everywhere there'll be music, dancing, and along with the Guinness, no doubt, the crack. So learn to say Sláinte and celebrate the saint with the shamrock who banished the snakes. If the good Irish food and drink has worked its magic on your waistline, then what you'll want to know about now is the sport happening in Sheffield. Whether you're taking part or working off the calories by shouting at others who are running around, let's see what's happening in the world of the fit and healthy. This weekend is one of those times when lots of students, as well as the people who work alongside them, get all excited about which colour shirts they wear. Yes, it's the Varsity 10K. For those of you who don't know, the two great universities of our city, that's Hallam and Sheffield University, send out their staff and students to run 10 kilometres around the city and then spend at least a little time afterwards gloating about who's done the best. Choose your colour, whether it's the black and gold of the older university or Hallam's purple. You can see the race start at the Arts Tower at 10 AM this Sunday the 15th, and you can watch the runners tramping the streets around that area until the last one finishes or gives up. Tomorrow, on Friday the 13th, you can see the Sheffield Sharks basketball team playing against Plymouth Raiders at the English Institute of Sport next to Ice Sheffield. What do you call the start of a basketball game? The bounce-off? Well, the bounce-off's at 7:30, so go along and support the tallest local team in town. In a slightly more sedate style, you may be interested in playing some snooker in a very special setting. The Walkley Community Centre on First Street has its upstairs snooker hall with tables and fittings dating back to the early 1900s. You could become a member, but if you want to try it out, the drop-in sessions are on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8 until 10 in the evening. Tables are £3 an hour and new faces are welcome. Next on tonight's show, we're going to be talking to Karen Sherwood, the owner and director of the Cuppola Gallery in Hillsborough. Specialising in contemporary art, Karen's gallery has been running for over 20 years. With a new exhibition on the way, we thought it was the perfect time to have a chat. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
So, your gallery's been running for a long time now.
I know.
20 years. So, what's the secret to your success?
24 years. Clearly don't look old enough, but I'm afraid it is beginning to show, actually. Secret of the success of the gallery? My stubbornness, I think, determination, and my passion, really. People told me I couldn't do it, which is probably the best way to get me to do anything, and so I'm still here.
So, I mean, how do you decide what art you're going to have in your gallery? It's your gallery. How do you decide what art you're going to have?
Yes, indeed. I think anybody who's self-employed has a little bit of the old egomania going on there. But no, for me, one of the reasons I set up the gallery was because I was sick to death of meeting creative people that were packing it in because they couldn't make a living out of it. And so really one of the founding ethoses, if that's a word, of the gallery was to get people to actually want to pay for it. I'm not funded, I'm not subsidised. If I don't sell things, I'm out of business. However, I never look at artwork and go and think, can I sell it, can I not? It's never about that. It's about integrity. If I can see the artist in the work, then I'm interested. And it just needs to sit outside the mainstream, be something a bit unusual, and I'll give it a show. And,
so do you give new artists a chance? You know existing artists that are already established in Sheffield? There's a big mix.
Absolutely.
In there.
It's local, national and international. The idea is if the talent is local, I show it, but I don't show it just because it's local. It's got to be good enough.
Okay. So the new exhibition,
yes.
What's that all about?
Right.
What does the Chinodoxa, not a word I've come across before.
It's Chinodoxa. It's the Latin name for glory of the snow, which is a beautiful little blue flower that's one of the earliest flowers to come up through the frozen earth. So it's like spring. It's like the start of spring. And I wanted artists to respond to the title of the works, however they felt. So we've got very few flowers in the exhibition at all. It's more to do with the idea of emergence, new work, new ideas, new departure, blossoming, energy, all of that kind of thing, really. So we've got work submitted as well as selected seemed to fall into two camps. Either the work was quite quiet and gentle with a kind of underlying kind of powerful, sensitive nature, or it was kind of a bit in your face. It was quite, bold and powerful, and it's great. It's always a challenge to show 22 different artists in one show. But I like a challenge because I set up my gallery between a betting shop and a laundrette round the corner from the Sheffield Wednesday football ground in a recession.
So is this taking over the whole gallery, or are other works in there as well alongside this?
The gallery, a lot of people are quite surprised of the size of the gallery because there's two downstairs rooms, but there's also a sculpture garden, and then if you go across the sculpture garden up the stairs, there's the long gallery and a craft gallery. So Chinodoxa is across the main gallery, which is the downstairs room, and the long gallery, which is the upstairs gallery, which is long. It's actually kind of almost coffin-shaped, which sounds a bit weird, but it's got a lovely 25-foot wall.
Right, so there's loads to see.
Loads to see, yes.
And so I understand you're doing some fundraising at the moment for a new art show, so you can get a chance to tell us about that, and maybe this will help you.
Oh, well, fantastic. Well, you mentioned 20 years. Well, this year's been 24, so next year is 25. So I think if I've been open 25 years, I think it's time for a bit of a party, don't you think? So I would like to raise about £100,000
Okay.
and put on a not insignificant art fair in Hillsborough Park. So I think sometimes Hillsborough gets a bit of a raw deal. I think people think Hillsborough, they think Hillsborough disaster, and you know, I'm afraid we've had enough of that. Hillsborough people want something new, exciting, and that leaves a positive legacy. And so I want to put on something really special.
So it's going to be a summertime art show?
Yeah, looking to August if I can. Want to make sure it doesn't clash with anything, so it won't be August bank holiday. But yeah, I want to do something that is inclusive and challenging. So I want things to be accessible and also a little bit challenging, a little bit difficult as well. But I want a real experience.
So if people want to help out,
yes, please.
what do they need to do? How do they find you? What do they do?
If they can contact me at the gallery, that's brilliant. I'd love to have a headline sponsor. Anybody? Anybody that wants to volunteer their time or offer their expertise, I would absolutely love to hear from you.
Okay, well that sounds great. And just as one last thing, tell us about over the years, there's been, you know, quite a lot of art passing through the gallery.
Well,
you must have a few favourites that
blimey.
you never forget.
Oh goodness, I mean we've had lots and lots of really exciting, interesting shows. I've actually started a blog, and just going through the photos is crazy. You can't get any work done. It's like looking through bags of old photos. But I've had shows about everything, about politics, about water, about gender. I had a show called Vices and Virtues. That was quite fun, where we had to ring up the dean of the cathedral to ask him what the virtues were, and he said, "Oh, I know the vices," he said, "but I'm going to have to look up the virtues because I don't deal with those so often," which was quite fun. Yeah. I mean, I've had shows called But What Is It, where people have had to guess the names of the artworks in order to try and engage people.
So there's loads.
I've shown over 10,000 artists.
Great. Well, that's where you're going to have to go if you want to see it. It's Karen Sherwood from the Cuppola Gallery. On tomorrow, Friday the 13th, the show starts, that's right?
That's right.
Friday the 13th of March, so you can catch the start of that new exhibition. And the works are being displayed until the 18th of April. Now, what's happening on social media? Well, I think we all know the answer to that, but from now on things will be better, because What's On is going to weed out the incessant twittering of nonsense and pinpoint the wise and interesting things that our informed Sheffield folk are discussing in our social media roundup. So what have we got? Let's have a look. We've come down here. The Help Sheffield, at Help Sheffield on Twitter. There's always lots of useful stuff there about events, such as retweeting the Mad Hatters Party, 150 years of Wonderland, it says, Mad Hatters Party, all proceeds to charity. Lots of people are tweeting about the Henry Moore exhibition at the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. So at Song for Zula is tweeting, saying it's a lovely sunny day today, get out there. Well, I was wrong because I thought it'd be raining. And lots of people unexposed are up for awards. So tomorrow, of course, is another day and another lot of stuff happening. So on What's On, we'll be back with more details about what's happening around Sheffield. Coming up next on Sheffield Live is our daily news programme, freshly packaged and ready to go. So hang on for that. Enjoy whatever you're doing and see you next time.